So this is a video that I've felt like I've kind of wanted to make for a little while now, where I usually do Sonic videos, talking about my thoughts or opinions or anything like that. And instead today what I want to do is kind of just mess around playing some Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I probably have to guess my favorite Sonic game of all time if I'm, going to be decent at it. But really, I just want to kind of touch on the fact that I don't know if things are going to be okay in society going forward. And with that, I mean, in terms of where we're at with the things that we say and do sometimes. And you might be asking yourself, like, what are you going on about? Like, what is this? Like a crisis, midlife crisis kind of video or something? And not really. It's more or less just a kind of an awakening to stuff that I guess I don't know if I was either ignorant about before or just didn't notice or what have you. But the fact is like I noticed that ever since I started my YouTube journey, which, has only been relatively newer to a few months in terms of taking YouTube and long form content more seriously than I had before. Cause before I was just uploading shorts when I was doing my streaming and all that. And I guess the big thing that I've noticed is that people really don't give kind of like an F about what they say sometimes about, people or their opinions and stuff. Tails, what you were just going to town, huh? Ooh, all right. Well, that's what we got. Uh, but no, I noticed more so than anything that everybody has an opinion, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. They're allowed to have their opinion. But I just noticed that there's a lot of rudeness in whether it's either I don't want to call it the Sonic community completely because I think that the community is awesome. I mean, I'm still relatively new to it, whether it's, YouTube or Reddit or, some of the other different areas in that aspect. But just a big thing that I really notice is that I always want to be positive with people. And that's one thing that I try and do is I try and be a better person in terms of like either what I say or my thoughts on things. And I guess the big thing is like you can be critical. You absolutely can be critical and there's, constructive criticism. There's a whole bunch of different things. But at the end of the day, when it's just straight up rudeness or, negative comments or dumb things, I don't really get that. And I don't know, maybe if that's like a old school mentality thinking for me or whatever, where I'm 35 and I guess, growing up in the internet age, I've always, taken a step back and thought about what I've said before I've said it, or I've tried to at least, you know what I mean? I'm not perfect by any means, and I don't want this to come off as some grandstand where it's like, oh, I'm better than everybody and I know better than everybody. And it's more or less just like I said, an observation in terms of how people treat other people either online or by comments or other things like that. There we go. I was gonna say I knew I could become supersonic. This is one of my older files. If you're wondering how the hell I got ultra or hypersonic so early, um, I'm gonna lose my train of thought again. It's just it doesn't take much to just be a better person, whether it's just being kind or saying something or not even saying anything. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to when it comes to uh content or YouTube or whatever, whatever. Like for me personally, if I don't agree with somebody or if I don't like something, I don't I've never felt the need to go out of my way to bash somebody about it or tell somebody how stupid they are or, swear at them in some egregious way or whatever. And again, you know, I think the internet has obviously done some fascinating things. But I think one thing that really is just not good in terms of what society is at right now is just people are too comfortable with saying things behind a keyboard, being your typical keyboard warriors where they just feel comfortable saying dumb, rude things and getting away with it. And, you know, I don't think that's not okay. Now, whether or not that gets corrected, I honestly don't know. I'd love to see it get corrected because I think we're drastically in the wrong direction from my like I said again, I reiterate, I've been doing YouTube like seriously, I would say for about 3 months in terms of like long form and trying to build a community or what have you. And um there's amazing comments in there that people have left me that have really like been beyond amazing to read, that are just been so personal and cool. But at the same time, I see comments that are just like, and it's not even on just my stuff, it's other people's things too, that just baffles me that people are the way that they are. But like just again, there's a huge difference between constructive criticism or other different things, I guess. There was one comment that was just immediately super dismissive right away and pretty much told me I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's like, I guess that's fine. I maybe I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. I trust me, I know I'm not the smartest guy on the planet. I would never claim to be. But at the same time, it was a video that I was just giving my opinion on about, like, again, something Sonic related, which I think at the end of the day, it's okay to have opinions as long as they're not harming anyone or doing any damage or anything. This person was just like, you don't know what you're talking about, and pretty much said F you or whatever. And I don't like, why? Why would you go out of your way to type that when I don't know you personally? It was a opinion video specifically about my thoughts about Sonic. But it's goofy stuff like that. I just don't get it. Like, when did that become such a part of society that none of us sit there and go like, "Hey, this is kind of like a problem. Like, this is why we have so many, people that aren't like respectful or don't do things that like the way they should." I don't know. Does that make sense to anybody else? It's just like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes in terms of, you know, putting my stuff out there and just seeing people just be so like nonchalant about like, oh yeah, like that's just how like kids are. That's how people are these days. And man, I really don't get that. I mean, there was another time where I was just responding to people like I always try and respond to people the best that I can, uh, whether it's through the comments or anything else, just, saying how much I appreciate them or thank you for watching the video or anything else. And I responded to one person, and then another person chimed in about when they had critiqued something that I said, and it was fine. I didn't have an issue with the initial comment, but it was more or less we tried to have like a discussion about like my opinion, and then a third person jumped in and told me to, bro. He's What was the comment, bro? Nobody gives an F. Shut the F up. And it was just like, why? And again, I don't want this to come off. This is not again, not a grandstanding, not a pity party where I'm like, "Oh, I'm crying about this." It's a conversation that I think that as a society, like people need to realize that like people being brought up that act like this or do these kinds of things are just, like the society's gonna fail at some point if this stuff isn't addressed. Where, I was brought up old school where you got your butt kicked if you spoke out of line or did something wrong, you know. And I know that's not like everybody's parenting or whatever, but man, like it takes nothing to be kind to people. And I think that's a big thing that just you don't really see a whole lot anymore, is people just being kind, where they don't they could say nice things or nothing at all. That's exactly what I'm trying to get through, is that I mean, I've always been the type of person that if I don't enjoy something, I either move on or, I I'm like, okay, well that stinks, but it is what it is, and it's over. It's not, hey, let me go attack somebody or tell them what a, you know, piece of crap they are or whatever else. I mean, again, that could have been the way I was raised, but I think it's a very generation specific thing where I just notice it more and more at this point, which sucks, because I think there's so much more good than there is crap. But I have a hard time seeing it sometimes based off of crap that happens, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. But that's really, like I said, the big thing is just I think we need to figure out how to fix so many different aspects of things when it comes to people just being unfiltered across platforms, and I think, obviously there's so many issues, whether it's social media or putting your opinion everywhere, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, the usual suspects, culprits, whatever you want to call them. But I just think it would be really, really awesome if people took a step back and, thought about what they either were saying or doing before they actually did it in today's society, because I think there's so much that, people could learn or grow or do different things. Like, like I said, like the biggest thing for me is if like you disagree with my opinion on one of my Sonic videos or a take that I have or whatever, there's a way to have constructive either criticism or discussions about it. There's so many different aspects and ways that a discussion can be had, as opposed to just like telling me how stupid I am or, you know, I don't really, no, don't give me anything else. I just want the bubble. I want the bubble. That's it. Okay. Phew. I was gonna say I need the bubble. Like I said, end of the day, I think we can do so much better than we're doing or have been doing. And I hope we figure out a way to combat this situation that we've gotten ourselves into, where people just think that being rude or negative all the time is the way to treat people or behave or anything else like that. It's just, I don't know. We can do so much better, and I hope we start like getting better soon. And for those of you who are curious, I will be returning to the Let's Plays, including Sonic 3 or, Sonic 2. There's all the Sonics really that I have to go back and play through. I took some time off from those, obviously, to figure out, crap, to do some different style videos. Again, I'm very new to YouTube, so my big thing is just trying to find like whatever my niche is, or just experimenting with different videos and whatnot. And I mean, again, I don't even know if this is going to be a one-off type video or if I'm going to do general thoughts while playing Sonic or different games going forward. Just, it was something that popped in my head with how, the YouTube journey has been going so far. And again, I'm not complaining. I'm having a blast with making the videos, and again, the positive comments from everybody that has reached out, whether it's strangers, friends, family, anything, honestly, has been so overwhelming and positive for the most part that I couldn't be more thankful with how YouTube has gone so far. And again, I'm getting close to like 200 subs, which is just, it's absolutely crazy that there's 200 of you out there, or like almost 200 of you that have subscribed to my content, where it's just, again, I'm a 35-year-old nerd, jockey nerd, because I do love me some football. But like I love Sonic, I love video games, I like football. I'm the most basic person on the planet, and the fact that I have that many people subscribing to me is just so cool. And I appreciate everybody to the fullest, and I hope everybody realizes that is watching or, subscribing or whatever at this point, because I don't take any of that for granted. I know there's so many other things you could be doing, other people you could be watching or anything. But I promise you, I'm gonna be trying so many different things with this journey that I'm on. Whether it's different video styles, different games. Again, Sonic's not gonna be the only thing I'll play. I can promise you that. Uh, but it's just like I said, the absolute overwhelming support I've gotten so far has just been so heartwarming. And again, that was a big thing that I wanted to reiterate in this video too, was that while the negativity is a bummer, and I did want to talk about like what happened to society or us as humans or whatever you want to call it, my thoughts in general on that. But again, I don't forget about the people that are positive, that have help, that are always there for you and everything else. And, always give those people 10 times more attention than you give the trolls, the haters, or whatever else. And that's certainly what I do. But I guess again, like I said, my thought process for this video was just that I'm shocked that we've gotten to a point that we've gotten to where people just feel so comfortable saying rude, disrespectful, terrible things when they don't need to. And I hope it ends. I hope it's but again, I don't know how to end it. That's a great question for somebody who's a lot smarter than me. I could tell you that. Ooh. Oh, lightning. I was going to say, what did I just fall into here? So yeah, that's kind of what I got for you guys today. I'm curious if any of you agree with me that the hate, the negativity has gotten out of control and everything like that. And if you think so, let me know in the comments. I mean, I'm fully expecting to get plenty of hate comments on this one with people telling me I'm a whining baby or something like that. Which is, again, it's fine because I either just ignore it or I tune it out or block them. I mean, I do what I got to do. But I was just curious what other people's perception of just everything at this point really is, where I see so many people that are just comfortable being rude. It's unfortunate. But I just want you all out there to know how much I appreciate all of you who aren't rude, who are awesome, and that have been on this journey with me. And hopefully we keep this baby rolling. So thank you as always, and I'll see you in the next video.